guys, and welcome back to my chart ruler series. Alright, so in today's video we are going to be discussing the Aries Rising chart ruler. Of course, before we do get into this, if you don't know what the chart ruler is within astrology, then please be sure to check out my introduction to the chart ruler video. By having an Aries rising or ascendant, then it's going to mean that the planet, that wonderful red planet of Mars, is going to be your chart ruler. Meaning that as you do enter into all areas of your life, you're going to be doing so through the lens that is Aries. I'm going to start off by looking at what Mars is really all about, followed by the role that Mars will play in your life, and then we're going to finish off by assessing how you can interpret your own Mars placement in your birth chart. For more information all about Mars though, then please be sure to check out my Mars in Astrology video. In the Libra rising video, and also in the Taurus rising video, because they're both ruled by Venus, so within those videos we did talk about Venus, and it's Venus and Mars that act as this yin-yang with each other. So Venus being the feminine energy and Mars being the masculine energy. And when it does come to the symbol of Venus, I said that there was the circle, meaning the circle of spirit, as I did discuss. I've discussed the circle a lot throughout the series. And then with the symbol of Venus further, there is the cross below, meaning that this is essentially the spirit overcoming matter through love. But with the symbol of Mars, however, this is where the spirit, so we've got the circle, it's being held down by matter, suggesting that Mars rules the animal self. You see, Mars actually used to look like Venus, but the opposite way. So the old symbol of Mars was the circle and then had the cross above the circle, but now it's not a cross, it's actually an arrow. And this is essentially why Aries is the first in the Zodiac and Leo is the second fire sign. You see, Aries is all to do with the self. That's exactly why your first house, your rising sign, your ascendant is ruling the house of self. But Leo is to do with self-actualization. And this is why your sun sign in astrology is all about the self-actualization, and why it is the journey from the rising sign going to the sun. But it is the arrow of Mars. Sorry, my nose is... Oh, I got like... Yeah, my nose is annoying me today. But it's basically, it's the arrow on Mars that symbolizes this very process. So going forward or outward towards self-actualization. It's about ascending the self, being your rising sign, to the level of spirit, being your sun sign. Therefore, guys, Mars is outward. It's positive, it's masculine in expression, whilst Venus is feminine in expression. Mars is the animus in us all, as Carl Jung likes to say or refer to it, whilst Venus is the anima. But both, see, both the animus and the anima exist within every single one of us. It's the planet Mars that gives us drive to our feelings. Why do you think so many Aries moons find it difficult to hide their feelings, huh? This is Mars driving the feelings, the moon. It's driving the moon right out of us. Trust me, I know. I have an Aries moon, I know. And so it's Mars that is about action. It's about going after what we want. It's the sheer urge and rush of energy in all of us that wants to accomplish, wants to build, and wants to progress. It's Mars that provides us with the passion and enthusiasm to live. And so without these things, how would we ever reach our sun sign? How would we reach our sun sign if not for all of this energy and passion and drive? Also keep in mind, guys, that Mars is named after the god of war, Aries, and so Mars is essentially the planet of war. Therefore, Mars can be violent, it can be defensive, and it can be very domineering. It is about learning how to master Mars's energy, because we can't exactly go around being violent towards other people, can we? Just like if we don't have control over Venus, where it can lead to this overindulgence, and that in itself can be quite harmful as well. It's through the action of Mars that we gain valuable experiences, which will teach us to use our energies constructively. I would also like to add here that Mars, yes, it rules Aries, but Mars is also the traditional ruler of Scorpio. Okay, so now with all of that out of the way, what role will Mars play in your life if you do have an Aries rising? By having an Aries rising, your story is about living your life in the most energetic way possible. You're gonna have just so much fire that burns. You come along and you're just like, get out of my way, get out of my way, I'm coming through, I'm coming through. All you see is what's right in front of you, and that's it, that's it. And so there's certainly no stopping you from reaching your goals. Your story is about it's really about you going out into the world and going after whatever it is that you want. And this is exactly why when other people do look at you, they're going to see a person who is doing his or her own thing. Oh, and let's not forget, if other people do potentially catch you by surprise, you might turn to them with a very concerning look. The look that just says, get out of here, get out of here. Can't you see I'm walking here? I'm walking here. No, it's not that you intend. I don't think it's that you intend to do this. It's just that when other people do potentially catch you off guard, it's a very quick response. Kind of look at it like the fight or flight response that our ancestors did many years ago. It's like you've been given the go-ahead just to initiate. Like from the very beginning, it was just, go, take action, you have my permission. It's like the parent said, you know, go child, do your own thing, just go for it, don't ask questions, just do it. You essentially learned that if you want something, you need to go out and get it. I find this also interesting because whilst Libra, which is of course your opposite sign, Libra risings they look so gentle and very gentle and peaceful and graceful. It's the Libra risings who are willing to get on with pretty much anybody. But then when you look at an Aries rising, it's like the Aries risings want all hell to break loose if anybody dares gets in their way or says the wrong thing or rubs them the wrong way. Though it's not something I think you intend to do. It's not like a deliberate thing. It's just that you are that way. You can't help it. You just have this sureness about you, this assertiveness about you. And people who are not used to that might see that and be a little bit just taken aback. This reminds me of my Aries rising friend. Even though his moon is in Libra, we would argue, like if anytime we did argue, it would be really, really strong. Like, he pissed me off so much sometimes. Though he would say and proclaim that he wasn't fighting, that he's not angry. I'm not angry, I'm not angry. And so by having an Aries rising, you're not afraid to be like that ram and ram into other people, butting heads with them, getting your horns a little bit stuck. Because for you, it's compete, 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 win, win, win. Oh my gosh, I am realizing that with this series, I can feel myself really tapping into the energies of each sign. It's strange, especially with this Aries one. I just feel so high energy. Yes. Though truly a positive thing about having Mars as your chart ruler, it does suggest that in all areas of your life, you're a doer. You are a doer. You get things done. You might even be a pusher. You might even be a pusher. Yeah, I'm a pusher. I like to push people. But really, wherever you do go in the world, you have this amazing ability to just do. To drive yourself with so much energy to accomplish as much as you can. You might even be very irritated by people who don't do the same. Because to you, you might think, well, I'm able to handle this situation this way, so why can't other people? Therefore, it's very important that you learn how to balance all of this energy. And just like Libra risings must learn to not lose themselves in the other, Aries risings, you must also learn to consider the other. But ultimately, each chapter of your life is about defining what you want and then really going after it. It's about going through your life with this attitude of sheer strength and determination and decisiveness. I do think that this is a big lesson that we can learn from Aries, and that is going after whatever it is that we want to achieve in life and finding the strength and finding the determination and the courage within ourselves to just go for it. Okay, so now we have established what Mars represents and the role that Mars is going to play in your life. How exactly can you interpret your Mars placement within your birth chart? Because after all, it's Mars, or the placement of Mars, that is going to play an extremely important role in your life. Now, whichever sign your Mars is in will tell you how you might act when you are angry, how you drive yourself, how this high amount of energy comes out, how you want to really attack life and be courageous, and even how you express your sexual energy. And whichever house your Mars is placed will tell you where the anger and drive and high amount of energy might be operating, and where you want to attack life and take risks and be daring and courageous. Let's of course look at a couple of examples. On that note, I would also like to know about some of your own experiences with Aries risings. Do you have any? Do you know any? Are you an Aries rising yourself? Let me know in the comment section. Okay, so let's take for example an Aries rising with their Mars in Scorpio, and it's in the 8th house. For this person, hidden emotions might rise just to the surface from their unconscious minds, because the water houses, so the 4th, the 8th and the 12th houses, they're all connected to the unconscious mind. Their anger might possibly even be repressed, and so it's through an intimate relationship with another person that this anger can stem, or not stem, but it can rise to the surface. They might even fight for their independence if others try to threaten it. And so possibly they'll go through life just battling the most dangerous aspects of life. They might just experience constant rebirths. This is going to be a person who can keep their cool and their equilibrium on the surface, but below the surface may be a completely different story. And so they're very unlikely to let other people in. You might even find them creating all sorts of rules and goals so they can have this satisfaction of achieving them one by one. They're going to be very determined in that way and highly, highly ambitious, because they're going to possess a very high energy level. They're going to be strong, they're going to be sufficient, really self-disciplined, and for them they're going to possess this very, very strong sense of purpose. And yes, they're going to be slower to anger, but when they do get angry, walk away. Furthermore, this person may show strength and courage and this sort of daring attitude right in the face of death. They possibly can be pulled into these dangerous areas where they might face a life or death situation during one point of their lives. Now, because the 8th house in Scorpio is all about the shared finances and sort of to do with the wills and intimacy and sex and things like that, this can be, or there can be a conflict over these things, because they might get quite paranoid or feel like someone's trying to threaten their security. They possibly could even feel like other people are always taking away from what they have or what they want. Furthermore, a person with this placement, their sex life may be more active than usual. In fact, sex might be a very important part of their life. And lastly, this might be a person who actively seeks out mysteries and explores the nature of transformation. They can actually help others in need of change or healing, and who are searching for the strength it takes to let go of something deeply, deeply painful. Another example would be someone with an Aries rising, their Mars in Pisces, and it's in the 12th house. This is going to be a person who might have just so many goals that are wide-ranging, very colorful, and for them, when it comes to their drive and their aspirations and their motivations, they can feel like they're being limited in a sense with the fact that they have just so many goals, and they just find it difficult to choose one, because for them they can be quite elusive or scattered in their driven energy. They might not be very sure of which direction to take, or it could be that once they do find a certain direction, they could just change it suddenly due to, you know, loss of focus, or they might find it meaningless. They might be in it doing it and then just think to themselves, oh, why am I here? I don't see the meaning of this. Maybe I should have done this instead. They might possibly get caught up in the other sort of influences of other people, where they take too much into consideration what this person's doing and that person's doing. So essentially for them, it's really important for them to establish what influences are coming from others and what influences are coming from themselves. Truly asking themselves, what do I want? This placement as well can also indicate someone who doesn't really like to show their anger. They might have repressed their anger, or they're afraid of showing anger. Maybe when they were younger, they were told that it wasn't allowed, that you can't get angry. No, that's not acceptable. And so what this can do is it can build up all of this rage within them, just working in the background, working in their unconscious mind. They might even just escape it all, just escape it all and think to themselves, well, what's the point? What's the point in any of this? Is anything ever worth fighting for? I think essentially it's about establishing the anger that is possibly repressed and learning how to heal that, or learning how to cultivate it and bring it out positively. Things like acknowledging the anger in the first place rather than trying to stuff it down, because the more you try to stuff it down for this person, actually, it's gonna make it worse. It's gonna make it worse. It's about accepting it and then learning how to express the things that they want in life, express the desires that they want to, you know, the things they want to do, the things they want to achieve, the desires that they have. It's about them learning how to just do this appropriately. And it's learning how to view being assertive as a healthy emotion. Okay guys, so that concludes my video on the Aries Rising chart ruler. In the next video then, I am going to be talking about the Scorpio Rising chart ruler. If you like to keep updated with when that will be then, and you've not yet subscribed, then go ahead and click the subscribe button. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing as always, and I will be back with another video very, very soon.